NRO229, NRO229, UDX 483, South Carolina, trying.
Yeah, 483, I can hear you.
Come back to 135
I've got some 20 and 30 over.
Talk over here one another.
I don't think they hear me.
Everybody wants
Some of the
too much traffic.
Let's see if you can come back to me. This NRO229.
Drop down one.
NRO229, can you QSY to 370?
That guy that's coming back to NRO229, go to 585, 27 585. Conditions, you know, but
Where is it? I made it. Did you make it?
yeah, I'm here, man. It was rough on there. I don't know, there's some big signals, and there were a lot of those guys were talking to 1252 up around Lake Fork, who is a friend of mine. I could actually hear him, but he couldn't hear me. But anyway, what's going on? Over.
Roger. Yeah. What gets me is, yes, 385 is call channel, but that's not adhered to anymore. But yet, the ones that complain about it are the ones that want you to go away so they can sit there and QSO.
Yeah, there's a lot. 385 is well, you know all about it. You've been out here a long time. I will say it's calmed down though. A year ago, or even 8 months ago, there was 5 or 6 people on that just absolutely were destroying the channel altogether with noisemakers and whatever. And not to say they won't be back, or the propagation's not right now from wherever they were, but it's okay right now. But yeah, it is a call channel, but people like to talk on it, and I've asked people to go to other frequencies, and they said, no, I'm just going to stay right here. I just never understood it.
Yeah, Roger. I usually, I just got back into sideband. I just recently got another radio that was able to get into sideband. My RCI has some issues, so it wasn't treating me very well, and all of a sudden it started working again right about the time that my amp went down, so I unable to do much AM, with the propagation the way it is, so I reverted back to the sideband, and then lo and behold, the trouble started again. So got me a new radio, and I'm back in. I love sideband. I love radio. I'm kind of a skip nympho. I'll go wherever I got to go to get it there. QSL.
Yeah, Roger. Well, your radio sounds good. What's your location? I never did even hear. I don't even know if I'm facing your way. Over.
Well, I'm just outside of Charleston, South Carolina, about 30 miles off of the sandy beaches of the USA. And I'm not sure where you are either, but I'm pointed west-northwest.
You mean southwest?
Well, actually, no, I'm west-northwest. Where are you?
Well, I'm in Texas, okay? So you're not facing me. You're facing, let's see, south. If you're facing southwest, you're facing me. But if you're facing northwest, you're facing Washington. Over.
Yeah, QSL, I must have been getting you off the side. Yeah, I'm southwest now, and you came up a lot. Give me another shout.
Yeah, you came up a lot too. You're up to about a S8. Yeah, I'm in eastern Texas. I'm in the dead center of a place they call the Pine Curtain. Over.
QSL, yeah, I got you 5 and 9 now. Not that you weren't doing a fine trip to begin with. I still had you 5 and 7 coming off the side of the beam. But yeah, I had an aunt that lived in Texas, just outside of Fort Worth, in a little town called Keller, Texas.
Yeah, you said Keller, right?
QSL.
Yeah, I know where Keller is. I'm pretty familiar with all the cities and the small or big in the state of Texas. I live here all my life. I've traveled all over the state. Yeah, I know where Keller is. It's famous for something, but I can't remember what's there. I'd have to look it up. I'm kind of a historian over.
Roger, it's famous for cactus and sand and hills and floods when it rains.
Yeah, I guess that could be a lot of cities. Yeah, I'm in eastern Texas. I'm out in a place called the Pine Curtain, which is a 25,000 square mile area of nothing but pine trees over.
Wow, that's cool. Well, that's pretty much South Carolina. It's covered with pine trees. As a matter of fact, the little peninsula I grew up on pointed out into a lake, and when Hugo came through, it wiped us out. It looked like a logging company had come through and just taken the whole peninsula out.
Yeah, that was Hugo. That was in the mid-90s or the early 2000s?
1989.
Wow, 89. Seems like it wasn't that long ago, but yeah, that was a while back. Yeah, I lived in Galveston for, north of Galveston, about 4 miles, about 50 years. So yeah, I'm familiar with hurricanes. We had 17 of them in the 50 years that we lived down there. And we only live about 180 miles due north of Galveston now, and they still make it up here. If they come into Galveston or Louisiana and they curve to the or they go north or curve a little bit northeast, they'll come right through here. Of course, they're not a category 4 or 5 anymore, but there's been a couple of ones that were downgraded to a category 1 that came through here and did a lot of damage to the Cat 1, you know what I'm saying, over?
Yeah, Roger. Yeah, it doesn't take much, and especially, they don't get all of the winds, yeah, it's this here, but then what's spinning up and doesn't quite make it to tornado or whatever, they can cause a lot of damage.
Yeah, it's played havoc with my antennas over the last 50 years, I can tell you that. But, yeah, we get a lot of hail up here. There wasn't as much hail down south. But up here in East Texas, man, it's hail and spin up tornadoes, man. They're always happening up here, over.
Yeah, QSL, heck, you're just about in Tornado Alley being there, QSL.
Actually, they moved Tornado Alley. If you've looked it up recently, it's not well known. Tornado Alley stretches from, Oklahoma over to central North Texas and down through Dallas, Waco, and over into northeast Texas. But they moved it down to actually around Huntsville, Texas. And so I'm inside Tornado Alley now. They moved it. They haven't made it official, but I was talking to some weather guys in Skywarn, and they've actually moved it down, and which includes me in Tornado Alley, and it's well deserved. We've had 3 here in the last 5 years. One was a F4, and the other 2 were F1 and 2, which are still destructive, but that F4 killed 3 people just about 8 miles from here, over.
Yeah, that's terrible. That is definitely terrible, and it's not like a hurricane, obviously, it's just, you just don't know.
Nope, you don't, and they can happen quick. What kind of radio are you on now? You said you switched or whatever?
Yeah, Roger, I got a Anytone Quad 5 Plus, Alpha Tango Quad 5 Plus. It's not a Top Gun Technologies and it's not the N2. It's just a Quad 5 Plus. Yeah, I've got a maximum. Well, it says maximum of 50 watts, but on here, for the most part, I'm probably getting out about 15-20 watts. But if I do that, I get about 52 watts. But yeah, I mean it's working well. And I've done nothing. I haven't messed with anything. The only thing I've done was I turned the mic gain up via the switch panel on the front of it. Going into the settings, I set the Roger beep on some of my AM channels, and yeah, that's it. That's it. Oh yes, and I did the really complicated conversion to get 11 meter. It's a matter of pushing 2 buttons on the front, powering it on. It comes up to 1 band. You switch the channel selector over, and it says 2 band. You turn it off, turn it back on, and it's converted.
Roger, I'm actually familiar with that radio. A friend of mine has he's got the Quad 6, and another friend of mine has a Quad 5, and I've messed with the conversion of turning the radio off, holding 2 buttons. I can't remember each set them, but yeah, they're good radio. You got great audio. Clarity's perfect. It's right on frequency. Yeah, they're good. You know, they're probably the best inexpensive radio that you can buy. You know, everybody likes the, which one is it? I can't think of it. It took the place of the, man, I'm just drawing a blank altogether here. Give me a minute. Hell, I can't think of it. My mind is blank. Anyway, that's a good radio. That's the bottom line. It's clear, not overmodulated. The whole key is your antenna. What kind of beam you on?
I'm on a Stereo QSY 4-element Yagi.
Well, that's why you hear me good. I'm on a 3-element Yagi, and I'm right at 55 feet, and I'm on a Roan tower, and I feed it with LMR 400, and I'm on the flat side, and my radio is a Yaesu FT1000D. It's a 1992 model. It was refurbished, and it does. If I whistle, it give me 250 on peaks, and you know, it plugs in the wall. It doesn't have it has a built-in power supply. What's your amperage on your power supply?
It's 30 amp. But I looked at a whole bunch of videos on before I even bought this thing, and for the most part, and I'm looking at the meter now. NRO229 UDX 483 South Carolina, trying.
Hey, I can hear you. Can you still hear me? UDX, go back to 585. UDX, go back to 585.
Yeah, I made it, did you?
Did you get back to 585?
Yes, indeed I did. You got me?
Yeah, what's going on?
I went to turn around and turn my camera off and found out my camera was already off. I also found out I've been talking to you on the vertical the whole time.
So what are you on now?
Now I'm on the Yagi.
Yeah, come back again.
I'm actually on the Yagi now. I guess let me switch back to the vertical, see what that does.
No, you're good on the Yagi. I switched to vertical when you were talking. Vertical, and you went down. So it makes me wonder, on our last conversation, had you been on horizontal, when you peaked out, you'd really have been loud because the band's closing up a little bit.
Well, I just switched back over to the vertical and you came up 4S units. How about now?
You're S6. You went down some.
Well, that's amazing. You came up. But yeah, I wanted to catch you in there and at least get a little bit of audio so that you'd be able to hear what you sounded like. Every now and then I do a dingbat thing like that when I'm setting it up, and I hit the wrong button and it doesn't start the camera. So anyway, NRO229, I forgot what your personal was. UDX 483 Steve, waving a hand at you. QSL.
Yeah, Steve, it's Joe Bob. Julius Oscar Echo, Bravo Oscar Bravo, Joe Bob. NRO229, the founder of the New Revolution Operators in Texas. So yeah, that's my name, over.
Roger, Joe Bob. Well, I definitely enjoyed the QSO. I wish I'd have gotten it all. When I turned around, I actually thought the camera had timed out, which wouldn't be unusual. You know, it'll run for 29 minutes and 59 seconds before it times out, and I figured that's what had happened. And I hit the review, and I had yesterday's date on it. I was like, no way. You want to hit that FM one more time?
Yeah, see what it sounds like. I'll meet you there.
UDX 483 South Carolina FM.
Not as loud as it was, because it... me over.
Roger, Roger. Let me switch over to my vertical, see what that does.
Alright, go ahead. I got a solid S7 on you right now.
Yeah, I had the same on you, and it really didn't change when I switched over to the vertical, but that's my vertical right there.
Yeah, you dropped off some. Hang on a minute. I'll switch to my vertical and see. Alright, there's the... I know I dropped off because I saw my power drop.
Yeah, it didn't drop a whole lot, though. You were 7 and 8, 7 and 8, and you were 8 and 9 on the Yagi. So I'll switch back as well.
Roger, yeah, I can see the power drop. I'm getting a full 200 on FM, but on the vertical, it dropped down to about 125 because the SWRs aren't as good. All right, buddy, let me go. I got to get out of here, and I'll be looking for that YouTube when you get a chance. I'll check it out. Take care. This is NRO229, the founder of the New Revolution Operators in Texas on FM, and I'm clear.
Roger, Roger. Joe Bob enjoyed the QSO without a doubt. I'm glad I was able to get you again. Occasionally I do that dingbat thing, you know, I was born a blonde. So anyway, UDX 483 South Carolina was definitely enjoyable, and we will do it again as soon as possible. UDX 483 South Carolina, standing by.